Well, I hope you had fun exploring the world. I always do. But let's head back home to Toronto. So we can use the search box here to quickly return. And we'll close that. And in this case, we've zoomed in a little bit too far and we can't see our population layer. So just zoom out probably a couple times, 3 times. There we go. And this is actually a good view to have because we kind of want to see Southern Ontario here. Now, looking at what we can see here in the map, why do you think that settlements have occurred where they have? So obviously we have Toronto and the Golden Horseshoe area, which goes from St. Catharines right around to Oshawa. But we have other ones that are sort of scattered all around Southern Ontario and even down in New York. So why are these places here? What do you think is there that has attracted people to live in those places? So this is part A for movie 8, writing down some reasons why people have ended up here. Over time, settlements grow. If we zoom into Toronto again, and we'll lose our other data, but that's okay. So back in the beginning, Toronto was about that big. And over the decades, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and the other places that people have settled nearby have slowly kind of joined together, effectively making a big giant city. Now there's still political boundaries between the cities, but for the most part it's one continuous settlement. This type of formation, where all of these separate towns eventually became cities and eventually joined together, is called a conurbation. And that's just a fancy name to say big giant city. And really it's not necessarily the fact that the cities all joined together, but it's joined in many different ways. So economically, perhaps politically, with public transportation, all kinds of different ways. As they keep getting bigger and bigger, you can imagine that eventually we have these giant cities of only buildings, and perhaps in the far future, our entire planet is one giant city. Well, probably not. But what we're going to do is mark this conurbation for the Golden Horseshoe area right on the map. So we're going to go up to the Add menu, and we're going to add Map Notes again. This time we're going to name this Conurbations. And we're going to, this time, use the Freehand Area tool. So select that. And what we need to do is hold down the left mouse button as we trace out the boundary. So click and hold, and I actually, now it's starting to appear. Interesting. Didn't work in the lake. But really just connect kind of the darkest, thickest parts. I'm going to kind of stop there because it is kind of thin through to St. Catharines. And once you're kind of back in the water, if you started in the water like I did and you can't see what you're doing, just kind of let go. We're going to call this, well, let's start with the description. So this is the Hamilton, Toronto, Oshawa conurbation. And the geographers that kind of deal with conurbations, they like to give them kind of a fancy name, or I think a funny name. And they kind of take the first 3 letters of each of the urban areas that are in the conurbation. So in this case, we would have Hamtarash. Again, a very elegant and lovely name. But that's what it is, Hamtarash. And then we can actually, let's try changing the symbol. because it's kind of a olive green kind of color, and let's pick something that's brighter. So I'm going to pick a brighter fill, and the outline isn't too bad. You do want it darker. Maybe we'll try something a little bit brighter. And click OK. And that's a little bit better. And we can click Close. And just for good luck, let's save our map. Save and save again. And thinking about this Hamtarash conurbation, why do you think so many people have decided to live in this area, the Golden Horseshoe? And this is part B for movie 8 on your worksheet.